Hello everybody and welcome to Retro Ratchet. This episode is going to be about the Mk4 Escort, as you probably guessed. What we're going to do is we're going to have another look at running issues on it. So there's maybe about 3 or 4 very short bits to this video. So we're going to start with a replacement carb. So I've managed to find a reconditioned replacement 2832 TLDM, if that's the code. I'm sure that's the code. I found one of them on eBay and it's like brand new. It's obviously had a professional rebuild at some point in its life. So we're going to stick that on and see how we get on with that. So we'll run through just the process of changing that. It's dead simple. Secondly, I'll briefly mention the carb video number 2 that ended up never actually being aired. So yeah, there was a period between rebuilding the carb and where we are now, where we're fitting the reconditioned one, where I tried something else and it didn't really work out very well, but did take a massive amount of time. So that wasn't great. So yeah, we're going to go into that. We'll talk a little bit about the running issues that I've been experiencing with it, and what I think it actually is and what I've done about it. Then we're going to do a little bit of tuning, so that's really just idle mix. And then we'll finish off just with a short test drive to see how the car runs. So, hope everybody enjoys it, and please like and subscribe. Hello guys, right, so we're back on the Escort today. I alluded to this at the end of the last video. We're going to do a wee bit with carb again. We found this on eBay. It's a previously reconditioned one, it's still in its box. It did get a little bit damaged during transit, but you know, we'll just take this back capsule off the old one. Right, I'll get this one off and then I'll explain a little bit about what's going on with this one. There we go. So a wee bit quicker this time. Right, so let's get these back modules, capsules, whatever you want to call them, swapped over. Yeah, so a couple of screws in here. I can imagine this will be a tricky job. Just a little bit annoying because it would be nice just having a brand new one of those, but there's not much I can do about that now. Bit of a shame, isn't it? Right, this one. That of course is assuming that this one actually works.
Right, that's us ready to stick this on. So you can see the auto choke mechanism on this versus the other one. Right, let's get this carb on. So we've got a little, I don't know what you call these, little heat insulator plate. Just cleaned that up there, get the old gasket off it. Ordered some brand new gaskets, so we should be good to go. And these are paper thin, these. Absolutely nothing to them. Let's see if we start. Just leave that airbox off just now. That'll be interesting. Well, it runs kind of, probably have to do a wee bit of tuning, so I'll let it warmed up and see what the mix is like.
Right, apologies in advance for the sound quality today. I think even with the mic we're going to struggle because it's super windy, but we'll do our best. So what we're doing now is warming Escort up, and we'll have a look at adjusting the CO content of the exhaust. Right, that's engine warmed up now. Looking at the old Gunson, what have we got there? 1.4, so it's a wee bit lean. Right, so let's get that carb adjusted a wee bit. Right, another turn there. Seems to be going in the right direction now. Sitting at 2.3. It's a wee bit healthier. We'll clear that carb just to recheck it. Right, fingers crossed, we should be about right this time. Right, we're in twos now. 0.3, 0.4, 5. Don't want to creep over 3 really, but yeah, that looks good. 2.6. I mean, it sounds Sounds pretty happy at that. 2.7. Yeah, so I think we'll call it a day at that for the moment and probably take it out for a run. See how it goes. Right, so that's the carb fitted now. Excuse the air filter, we need to get a new one anyway. I think I figured out maybe what the running problem was. Well, this intermittent thing where it was just losing its idle and it was cutting out. When I'd initially fitted this new carb, I was getting the same problem. I was turning the mixture screw and kind of getting nowhere, so I suspected a bit of an air leak. And this one here, this back line, actually runs from the bottom of the carb up to the bottom of the air box, and then another port then just comes out here and it just controls this little flap here which directs hot or cold air into the engine depending on what the outside temperature is. So yeah, this seems to have a fault with it, or seems to be leaking anyway. When it was blowing through it, you could hear it hissing. So all I've done is I just put a new connection on that end, that blue piece there, and I've just plugged that in for the time being. This should default into the cold air position, so we won't have a problem with that. And as you've seen, you know, we'll be able to adjust we have been able to adjust the mixture satisfactorily for it. So I think that was possibly the problem, just a random leak out of this causing it to go lean on idle, and then that was making it cut out. It seems that the top of this carb is slightly different to the original. There's meant to be 3 mount points in there, and there for the top of the air filter to get bolted into, so they weren't there. So all I've done is there's 3 original holes around the side. I've just put a couple of holes through that just now just to hold it, but as you can see that's pretty much solid, so that's just a bit of a pain, but there's not much really I can do about that one. So what I'll do now is talk a little bit more about the second carb video that I actually never aired and what prompted me to find a replacement carb. There we go, preview of a bit of the Rover, all painted. Right, so the carb, loads of carbs floating about here. Move this one over here. So, video number 2, which I never aired because it took far too long to do, and then it turned out it wasn't successful anyway. What I got is I got another old carb there, a knackered one, and what I wanted to do is one that was originally manual. I wanted to take all the mechanism off it and fit it onto my original one that was originally automatic choke. It still had parts of the auto choke, and then like a manual conversion on it, which just didn't seem to work very well. So anyway, I ended up transplanting this over. The arms didn't fit, there was a bit of a mismatch between them. I ended up welding on an arm there, that was for the choke cable. I ended up also adapting the bracket on the car. This ended up being too short, so I had to get a different one of these. There was an issue with the length of this one as well. Anyway, it did work. The choke mechanism did work. The articulation was different, so you were only pulling the cable out maybe half as much as you normally would to get the full choke. But from cold, it was never ever very happy. So that's when this other one came up on eBay. And it was one that had previously been reconditioned. I ended up paying 30 quid for it, so I thought, well, why not? It's not a big job refitting them. So that's the manual one. It'll stay there, and we'll see, I guess, when we take the car out, how it actually runs from cold. Right, so first cold start after the new carbs went on. I think you have to put the accelerator half down on these auto choke ones, or something weird about it. Half down. There we go. Seems to be okay. Right, so I have to say, you know, cold start, straight down the road, no starting, no hesitating, so it's absolutely transformed it. you know, how it is to drive. Certainly from a cold start in the morning. I mean, we're not warmed up, obviously. We've only been in it a couple of minutes. But it feels totally different. Before it was bogging down, you know, you're adjusting the choke in and out to try and get a happy medium, to try and get it to pull away cleanly, but this is looking pretty good. Right, so that's us warmed up. Now we'll do the obligatory second gear pull up the slip road and see how it does. Not expecting miracles, mind. It's not too bad for a 1.6. Joking aside, you know, sitting pretty smooth, 70 mile an hour, you know, no issues, no smoke out it. So I think the job's a good one on this one, again, until the 4th video on the carburetor. In fact, it'll be 3rd because I didn't shoot the 2nd video, kept that one for myself. So. One thing I will be after, if anyone knows where there's one, is a beige brown coloured blanking plug for the dash. Obviously my original had that universal choke cable attached to it, so that's not going to look the best. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. So we're ending this video by a little bit of a preview on one of the next ones. So as you'll see, this is not a Mark 4. We're now in a Mark 5 XR3i. So we're going to do a wee bit on this next. With regards to the Mark 4, we've got to do a video on the exhaust. So the exhaust is leaking at the moment, so I'm going to do a wee bit welding on that. Gearbox oil change as well, so I think that's the next 2 things I'll do on that, but I'm just going to drive it for a couple of weeks anyway and enjoy it and see if anything else goes wrong with the carb. But yeah, we've got this Mark 5 at the moment, so we'll figure out a little bit of content on that, which should be good. So again, please remember to give a video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, well done, and I'll see you all next time.